So Youth Sunday has been great so far, hasn't it? Got me turning on the lights. I did a good job with the light, didn't I? It's because of me that you knew it was the boy, okay? Because I turned on the lights. Of course, the theme is no hand-me-downs. But my title for my speaking is He Doesn't Want Any Hand-me-downs. And just like Pastor Clarissa, as a kid, I did not like hand-me-downs. No, as a kid. Well, when I was younger, let's say that, I did not like hand-me-downs. I had t-shirts, socks, sports bras, I had anything my mom could get for free because she was cheap at that time. But, so as a kid, I did not like it. And just like God, so just like you want something in the spirit, you want a new blessing. You don't want nobody else's blessing that they should have had. So you had a hand-me-down blessing because they don't want it. But you want something new. You want something fresh off the heaven assembly line just for you. That was good, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay. And my Bible verse is Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 1 through 2. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and thy mother. And what is the definition of honor, Darren?
I would say respect.
Richard? Okay. And Darren, you was right. It means high respect. So if you want something, you have to learn how to honor something. You cannot honor something that's very nice because you don't know what it's like to have a hand-me-down. So when you get something new, you wouldn't understand how to appreciate it so much because you didn't have a hand-me-down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So if you don't appreciate a hand-me-down, how would God give you another blessing if you don't even know how to appreciate what you have? That makes sense? Okay. I'll give you a life example. With me, I love video games. You can ask my mom. I will stay up all night just to play. I can play one little game and I will be addicted. So the first time I got a game system that I could truly call my own, it was a PlayStation 2. And at that time, when I had my PlayStation 2, that's when the Xbox 360s and PlayStation 3s came out, and I had a PlayStation 2. So, I actually thought I had the best system in the world. I didn't care what nobody say. You know, they had Xbox 360 now. I have one now. It's wireless, and PlayStation 2, you have to plug it in the thing. But you know, I still thought I had the best system in the world. So, I didn't care if it was the oldest thing ever. I thought it was the best. So 2 years later, I got an Xbox 360. So when I look back, I think about, wow, I had a PlayStation 2. Look how I appreciate it once I got an Xbox 360. And what I remember about my PlayStation 2, that it was pre-owned. And for you that don't know, pre-owned from GameStop is means somebody had it before me. So they bought it. So they brought it back to GameStop. I got it. So if you look at it, some people, we get pre-owned stuff, but we don't appreciate it, and that's why we can't upgrade to something that's new. You understand? That makes sense? Okay, I'm killing it. Yeah, I know. But I'm about to get to 75 miles per hour. You just hold on, just wait. 75 miles. Okay. So, I'm gonna give you another example. My mom doesn't cook. I starve. I make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all day. Chips with it. If we have chips, you know, yes, please look back at her. Because she said she knows how to cook, but she don't cook. And I just mean, my stomach, you can see my ribs and everything, felt like I was on the fast again. Every day I'm on a fast, so me not eating it's a breeze by me. So I do appreciate her for not cooking, because I do know how to cook. My grandma taught me, not because of her, my grandma taught me. So when I go to my dad's house, he's married, I appreciate her cooking because she cooked. So I appreciate my mom not cooking, so you know, I know how to honor that, even though it hurts my heart. But it really do. So I honor that, and then when I go to somewhere else, I can get a home cooked meal, so I learn how to honor both. That's good, ain't it? Yep. I'm about to be done a little
That's
bit.
good,
I'm
Jonnise.
trying to. No. It's okay.
Good, Jonnise.
It's okay. Do you have any questions?
Slow down.
No, we got it. You doing good.
Slow down a little bit because I talk fast. So, spiritual example. So, it's like when you want a blessing, okay, you get one, but it's not the one that you want. So, God is like, you don't want this blessing, right? Okay, so let me give it to somebody else. Let me hand this down to somebody else that's going to appreciate it. You know? So, they get in that hand-me-down that you could have had, but since you don't want it, here. So God said, give me that blessing back. Let me give it to somebody that really wants it and really needs it, you know? And just because it wasn't a blessing shouldn't mean, it wasn't the blessing that you want, shouldn't mean that you shouldn't be thankful for it. Because, you know, a lot of people these days need blessing from him. And since you got it, you need to honor it, appreciate it, because he could have gave that to somebody else. Yeah, I know. God is saying, sometimes when we don't appreciate his blessing so much, God is saying, you know what, I'm getting tired of giving you blessings, you're not appreciating it. So you know what, I'm going to make you see what it's not like having a blessing for a long time. You know? That was a good one. So he's punishing us in a spiritual way. So then, when he doesn't give you blessings, you get angry. And you go into this cycle. You go back to your bad ways. You go back to your bad habits. And you're staying in that circle because you know what? You never appreciated his blessings. And since you don't appreciate it, you go into that cycle. And it's crazy about the cycle because you could have just got out of it. You know, you could have just got done with financial problems, relationship problems, but since you don't want that blessing that he gave you know what? You suddenly think, you know what, God, you're not there for me, you're not there for me, so you know what? I'm going to go back to my old ways because it was working. Okay, yeah, I just needed an amen.
Amen, Jonnise. I'm your amen.
Thank you, yes. So every time I'm done talking, I look at you, that's your cue, okay?
Amen. All right. Amen.
Oh, look at that, okay. All right.
I'll be my baby home.
Yes. My next Bible verse is Genesis chapter 4, verse 3 through 5. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord, but Abel brought fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked favor on Cain and his offering, but on Abel and his offering he did not look with favor. So Abel was very angry, and his face was downcast. Who do you think was giving God the hand-me-down gift?
Cain.
Oh, I was going to call people, but who gave God the hand-me-down gift?
Cain.
Okay, that was good. Yes, you are right. And you know, as people, we get so jealous of people's blessings, we don't even realize that was a hand-me-down blessing because somebody else didn't want it. So we get so jealous of them that we don't even realize we having a blessing right in front of us. But we too busy of being jealous of somebody that has a hand-me-down blessing. But they're cherishing it so much that it looks like it just is new, you know? So we, as people, Christians, we get jealous because of what they got, and if we don't look our way of a blessing. Yeah. Does that make sense? Okay. See, the problem with Abel was he was trying to give God a hand-me-down gift, which is crazy to me because that was Cain. Okay, I'm sorry. I wrote it down too fast. Cain, right? Okay, Cain was trying to give him a hand-me-down gift which is crazy because he made you, so why would you want to give your creator something that's less when he gives you all he can? And Abel, right? Okay, Abel had to have patience to give him something that was appreciated. So he cherished his, but Cain didn't. Okay, because Cain, all he had to do was just wait for the animal to be in labor, you know, and so he could give it to Jesus. Yeah, okay, but Abel, he had to wait for the soils for the fruit to grow.
Come on, baby.
Right.
Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. That was good.
Wow.
I know. I've been paying attention. I've been writing down notes and tips of how to preach.
You got it. That was good, though, baby. That was good. I like that. He had to wait on seed time and harvest.
Yes. He had to wait for the winters, the rain, the sun. That's what he had to do. Okay, And sometimes as Christians, we give God a hand-me-down worship. And you can expect to be fulfilled if you're giving God 50% of your worship.
That's good.
And in order to give something truly blessed, you have to give God something that's you cherish, something that you gave your all your energy. You have to give that to Him. In order to get something that you want, give Him something that He wants first. God gets upset when we don't give Him all we have, because He created you. So He was like, I created you for this. So you're here because I need you to, give me what I need, and I can give you what you need, so I can have you testimony to everybody else. So, and Cain did not give Him all he had. He waited, but he didn't wait it for God. He waited for the animal. So he waited for somebody else. He didn't wait for what God had, and which was the ground. He didn't wait for that. He waited for something that was an animal, Okay, that makes sense. So he just waited for that to give God the newborn. So Abel, he had to wait. Like Pastor said, he had to wait for the harvest. He had to wait till the soil gets right, to fertilize and water and all that. So it's just like Christians, we wait for God to move. And when He moved, then we worship Him. We don't worship Him first. We wait until He moves. But we shouldn't do that. We should always give Him the praise, even though He didn't give you the blessing yet. That don't mean it's coming. He could say, just do this one thing for me, and I can just give it to you. But sometimes, as people, we thinking like, you know what? He didn't give it to me yet, so you're not getting nothing yet. So you know what? You're gonna wait. And like Richard said, what if we was that little kid of Christmas? He flipped it around. So Mom didn't get me some new shoes because I wasn't bad. So if you look at spiritually, you didn't give God the praise, so you're not getting no blessing. That makes sense? Okay. Amen. All right. And in order to really get something blessed, you have to put a seed in the ground. And we have to be patient, and that's what's wrong with people sometimes. They rushing God, and God's like, no, wait, because I need to see how it's gonna work for you. I need to see how you've been, But we can't always we have to wait for Him, but you also have to do stuff in order for Him to grow with you and inside you. And you have to want Him to grow, because God wants us to grow, but He wants to grow in us. And sometimes when we doubt Him, we're not trying to grow. We're not doing nothing with our seed that's in the ground. Well, we should wait for Him, but sometimes when we wait as Christians, we just wait, and we don't pray, we don't fast, we don't read the Word. So we're waiting, which is the good part, but we're not doing nothing while we're waiting.
So you're saying waiting is the difference between waiting and doing nothing?
Yes, Richard.
You're saying as you're waiting, you're not cultivating your seed that you put in the ground.
Yeah.
Amen.
Now, y'all about to ask me some questions. I'm like, please don't ask me no questions. Okay.
That's okay, baby. You're doing great. Amen.
So, okay. And I'm at closing, but I don't want to wait because I'm doing a good job. Y'all think I should close? Because last time I was just saying stuff and it didn't work. Okay.
When it stops working, stop talking.
Yeah, it is done working. I went to 70 miles per hour. So, and in closing, we shouldn't give God a hand-me-down blessing, because He doesn't want to give us a hand-me-down, but He will if He has to. That didn't come out right, but, and that's my title. He doesn't want me to be now.
I'm so proud of her. Y'all give my baby a hand clap. Oh, people be missing the best services. I just want to say, the Bible said, and a child shall lead them. And most of us don't understand that. And Jonnise, you were laughing and joking, but you really dropped a revelation into the church that has not been dropped before, which is another way to look at Cain and Abel. And if I could take that message and preach it, I would preach the house down. Now, in understanding, because even a child can minister to you. When we at the place where we think that someone, because of their age, cannot minister to us, we're already lost.
Right.
And the one thing she said that differentiated Cain and Abel is that Cain waited for something else to birth out the promise and then tried to slay it and bring it to God. But then Abel went in and he planted a seed and he went through the different seasons to wait for his harvest to come up. And then he took what had come up and he had to go now pull up what he had harvested, and then he brought that to God. Well, why was that more acceptable? Because unlike Cain, Abel was in on the whole process. And that is very prophetic and profound that she would even stand up here and be able to present something like that to the people. I was so blessed today from the poem, from Jasmine. I felt like I was peeking in the middle of an intimate scene between her and Christ. And you know I love you, Anika. You know, we're gonna get you to singing some more songs to get that on one level and one flow. I love you, and you just made me laugh today, and I needed that laugh. But you still did a great job, because I know that had to be nerve-wracking.
Yes.
You don't know everybody, and to get up and sing, and I honor that.
Yes.
And I thank God for even your inspiration. I thank God for your poem. You know, I like the whole theme about hand-me-downs, and it's very important to me because I struggle with the hand-me-downs growing up. I struggle with it. I got so tired of wearing somebody else's clothes and the underwear, and it was just disgusting. I'm like, Jonnise, I couldn't stand it anymore. And you know, because of it, I got picked on a lot. And so I wanted to make sure my children didn't have that process also. But like the baby said, Jonnise, I've learned to honor wherever I am. We've honored here. We're going to honor what's next. We honor what was before us. We honor what was behind us. We honor where we're going, and we honor where we are. And that's important, Jonnise, because if you don't learn to honor where you are, you're never going anywhere else. And so sometimes you can walk in and see the greatest problem with it. And it's funny because I was talking to my husband, and I told him, I said, he was having an issue on his job. I said, well, you never liked it anyway. You know, and you got to learn to honor what you have, because if not, you lose it. You don't get to keep it. And so you learn to honor things even when the situation is not great. And so I just want to tell y'all today, y'all did an amazing job, and everybody who wasn't here today missed an amazing service.
Amen.
We were talking in the back before the service, and we were talking about kind of something that you guys were doing today, and it's like going into another place, you know, another dimension. And it's incredible because sometimes as pastors, you need to see something. And you guys manifested out today what we were talking about in the back. It was just that you're graduating. You've graduated. Jasmine, the reason that the enemies fought you so bad in your life is because of what we saw today. You know, you have the potential to go into another dimension, another place within yourself, just you and God, that was just incredible. I mean, it was breathtaking. You know, it was just breathtaking where God, we were just like my wife said, we were just looking at where you and God were. And that's how everything should be. Darren, you've done poetry before, but you've never done poetry like this.
That was a hard ministry.
It was just, I hope you got that on camera, because when we do the television broadcast, we're going to show that over and over again, because it was what we stand for. I mean, you took it from the physical to the metaphysical, the spiritual to the universe. You brought it back down to where a baby was crying. You taught the whole Bible in less than 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. It was totally incredible. Anika, the song, My Eyes Is on the Sparrow, my oldest daughter, sings that. You sung it like I've never heard it before.